Welcome to my day 37 progression guide. So for today, we did get a level increase, but the very first thing you want to do is you want to go to your instance artificial island. How you get there is you hit the escape tab, then you hit the build tab, and then you press go. Now, if you don't have access to that, you might have to visit the real artificial island first. So how you get there is you go to Bygone's and then you get on the airship and it'll take you to the real artificial island. Then you should have that build tab. Starting out, you want to go talk to Kodor. He's going to give you a quest where he wants you to kill some mobs. After you kill the mobs, you're going to get a lot of resources, and this is going to really help you to upgrade your building. The main thing that you're trying to do on this island is get your development center to level 4 and get all of your other buildings to level 3. The reason being is you get resources every hour, so the sooner you get your buildings upgraded as much as they can, the more materials you're going to get. So let's go ahead and discuss the materials that you're going to need to upgrade. So renovation materials, you get those off of killing animals on the island. And I mean, you want to kill all the animals because you really want to have these materials. Energy material, you get that from killing the monsters on the island and also I believe the elites. The quality building materials and the composite materials, you get that from killing the 4 world bosses on your island. And the rest of the materials are generally generated from upgrading your buildings, but as you go and do the quest, you should get enough materials to at least get all the other buildings up to level 3 and your development center to level 4. So I'm going to give you a link down in the description to this Tower of Fantasy info site to where they give a recommended farming route. And this route shows you the best way to hit the world bosses and to kill all the mobs and elites in the world. But I do want to stress though, while you're doing that, you want to kill all the animals that you can because the animals give renovation materials. And you're going to need quite a bit of renovation materials to upgrade all the buildings. Also, just like the mobs, the animals only respawn weekly. So you want to try to kill all of them so that way you have an excess supply of resources rather than not having enough. Now, one thing to be careful of is the exchange door. Kodor is going to give you a quest where he's going to be like, hey, go to the exchange store and buy a crystal. Now, I personally skipped it because I wanted to kind of wait and see what were the best uses of my resources. But I think just buying that one crystal is not the end of the world. But you shouldn't really be buying anything else besides that quest. You want to make sure that you have enough resources to upgrade your buildings because the buildings reach the max level at 9, and the higher the buildings, the more resources you get. So now that we're inside the exchange store, the things that you do want to try to shoot for is probably these monthly limit items. But still, I would focus on leveling up your buildings. Don't worry about these monthly items until we maybe get into that last week of the month. And a final thing that I want to mention about the island is that you want to go to this build section and you want to hit claim. When you do that, it will claim all of the resources that your buildings have collected because they can only hold these resources for 24 hours. So what I recommend is that you claim before you go to bed and you claim right when you wake up. That way you can make sure that you're not missing out on any resources. Also, to claim, you have to be inside the artificial island instance zone. So once you have the development center to level 4 and the other buildings at level 3, then we can continue the day. Starting out, you want to do Mia's Kitchen, you want to do your bounties, then you can do your ruins. And for today, we got access to C03 hard. And then if you have any story left over, go ahead and complete it. Next, let's talk about vitality. So for today, we got the joint operation with the boots. This is actually pretty good. So if you wanted to go ahead and do this, maybe spend a couple vitality potions, it wouldn't be the end of the world because boots give crit. The nature seas, unfortunately, are pretty bad. Next, we have interstellar exploration. So you want to make sure you check the first category to see if you have 2 or more. If you do, it's a level 3 Stargate. But again, Claudia's coming out, so you might need some nanofibers, so you may want to run a couple level 2s. But if you can't find any good Stargates, you can do Dimensional Trials, just make sure it's difficulty 5. Or you can do space-time domains, but just make sure it's difficulty 5. But if you're still struggling for XP, feel free to go ahead and force decipher any password chest and open up any rusted iron chest. You can also do the Frontier Clash AFK farm or do the Raincaller Island chest run. And if you want more information on that, check out my experience farm video. Then don't forget to do your daily gifts. You want to go to the black market and talk to Hopkins. You want to go to Cetus Island and do the claw machine. Then you want to do your 2 ability trainings. Quick tip, if you get the rhythm training, Samir is MVP. Next, you want to maintain your vehicle. So some of the best places is Astra Shelter. The next place would be Bangui Shelter. After that, we got the Black Market. And the best place, High Crows. Also attack any elemental rocks you see for crystals. So now we have the Aida Cafe event. And for this event, you basically need to serve 3 customers a day their favorite dishes. And you're trying to get as many points as possible because for the rewards, they're pretty good. We can get some red nucleus, some matrix rows, and an SSR relic box. So we want to make sure we're doing this right. So basically I was able to find a Reddit post that tells the dishes that each character likes. For example, I have NA, so I know the dish that I want to serve her is roasted turkey with apples, roasted chicken legs with vegetables, and you essentially get the point. On top of that, I found a fellow YouTuber, Michuzak. I probably pronounced that name wrong, but what he did in this video is plot out farming routes to get the new ingredients for the Aida Cafe. So I found this very helpful. So go ahead, subscribe to him, get him some likes, help boost him up. Then I want to quickly mention, Claudia is available. I'm going to be rolling for Claudia later today. I think I'm just going to go ahead and C6 her, so look forward to that video. But I'm still debating on her matrices. They look really good, but I just have to test a few things to find out, am I going to be going for that? Because I do want to get Lynn's matrices in the future. Next, we got the weekly tab, so you just want to make sure you're doing enough things so you can get everything up top, which brings us to her challenges. So again, if you're really trying to clear a challenge like the Wormhole or the Bygone Phantasm, especially the Frontier Clash now that Crow's nerf, you might want to save your Mia's Kitchen for that. Just make sure you knock out your 3 attempts before the day's over. But starting out with the Bygone Phantasm. Now, unfortunately for me, Bygone Phantasm has changed. So not only do you need to try to get your week's rank for the week in the regular Bygone Phantasm, we now have this section where it does look like you are in a rank. And I believe there's 3 different zones. We have this frozen anomaly, this awareness adhesive, and this survival long fight. You might want to start attempting to do your Bygone sooner rather than later for a lot of those people that wait to the last minute. Then if you're trying to reach Grand Marshal, you want to put a couple hours in each day. With the Crow Nerfs, it may not be bad to go ahead and try it out. Frontier Clash. Crow is gone. My fellow Crow whale has officially stated that Crow is dead, so now we all have to pull our weight and try to get these 5 boxes. But for today, you should have got another attempt, so hopefully you guys are able to pull it out. Then we got the Wormhole. You have 4 days to finish the endless mode, so just make sure you go in there and do that. Then we have a new challenge, the raids. It looks like this resets every Monday, and you only get 1 attempt. It wasn't too difficult. You can also assist others in it. So I had a few free to play in my party and I had a few wells and we were able to get through it pretty easily. But I do believe it's going to get harder once we get to that level 66 range. So just be prepared. Then we got Void Rifts. So again, check and see if this is a first time boss for you. If not, just wait until you get another attempt. Now let's talk about our daily buys. So you want to go to shop, hot, and then buy your 2 vitality solutions. Now this is only if you can afford it. But I also wanted to mention that we have the limited gift pack. So because Claudia came out, all of these are available. They added in a couple extra packs. And if you're wondering, is this worth it? If you do plan to roll on a limited banner character in the future and you're going to spend money, all of these are worth. They're just very good discounts. You might as well just buy them all, even if you want to try to get Lynn or somebody in the future. Now let's take a look at the Commissary. Starting with the Crystal Dust store. So just make sure you buy your advancement modules and your booster modules for the week. For your gold dust, you can consider buying the handguard since today's joint op is the boots, or you can just buy the boots and just try to get a really good pair. Weapon store, if you're rolling for Claudia, you want to hold off on this. Crew store, if you're going to use your crew points, only buy relic shards, and I also suggest you save so that way you can get the Omnium shield. How you get crew points is you do your daily donations and you knock out your 4 missions for the week, but again, I would skip the password chest because we're going to Vero soon. Support store, make sure you buy your 3 joint supply chips. Again, best way to get support points is Frontier Clash Normal, where you get 375 support points, experience, and machine parts. Then you got Matrix Drills difficulty 1 in a team of 2, and Void Rifts that give you 150 support points. And then you can farm world bosses and you force a cipher for 100 support points as well as machine parts. And the last thing that I want to mention, generally in this section, I'll talk about doing achievements, maybe exploring the map, or also mount farming. But since Artificial Island's out today, you pretty much just want to go and explore Artificial Island, get those black nucleus, get those gold nucleus. I'm going to suggest that you use the Tower of Fantasy map and you can click on all of these things and you can say found. That way you're not searching areas over and over. But I do want to let you guys know, if you do use this map, a lot of these things say gold nucleus, but they're actually red nucleus. This one right here was a red nucleus that I found. All right, well, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I know this one was a little long, but I wanted to make sure you guys knew everything you needed to know for Artificial Island. So you guys have fun and good luck on your Claudia rolls.